Welcome to today's episode of the Coach's Corner. Today I am here in with Coach Adam Roberts from Western Washington University. Western Washington University is located in Bellingham, Washington, which is near Seattle. It's about near the Canadian border, about 90 miles or an hour and a half's drive from Seattle. The university has about 15,000 students and offers more than 200 academic programs across fields like environmental science, business administration, psychology, computer science, and the arts. Western Washington is consistently recognized as one of the leading public institutions in the Pacific Northwest. And if you've never taken a look at it, check out their rugby website because it is top notch and gives you a real introduction to the rugby program. It also details a lot of the scholarships that are available. Now, as far as Western Washington Rugby goes, it is one of the school's most prominent club sports programs, featuring both competitive men's and women's teams. The men's team, as I mentioned, is coached by Coach Adam Roberts, with the program leadership coming from the director of rugby, Paul Horn. It has developed into one of the top collegiate rugby programs in the region and actually captured the 2024 D1AA National Sevens Championships after an undefeated tournament run. The 15s team is currently ranked number one in the country for D1AA, and the women's team has also achieved national success, winning the 2024 National Sevens Championship and establishing Western Washington as a powerhouse in collegiate rugby. Together, these programs highlight the university's strong rugby tradition. And with that said, I'd like to welcome Coach Roberts back to the Coach's Corner for an update. Welcome, Coach Roberts.
Stoked to be here.
So, for those who didn't see your earlier interview, could you tell us a little bit about your background and how you found your way to Western Washington?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. As you kind of alluded to in your bit there to kind of tell what the university is, we're right on the Canadian border, and so I live up in Canada and commute down. And started on a bit of a whim and started helping with their sevens team in 2010, and just fell in love with the school and the fellas in the program. And then that just kind of slowly evolved into just a stronger relationship and stronger ties. The director, Paul Horn, was my high school teacher, and he was coaching up at UBC. We were crossing paths on the I-5 basically, and said, "What about you becoming the director here?" And we took it on in 2012, and have put together a great coaching staff. There's probably 8 coaches now here with us, and there was a bit of a hiatus in 2018. I had some bit of border issues, crossing too much, and so I ended up taking a role with the national team and coached the Canada U20 team for about 6 years, which was really helpful in my evolution as a coach. And then this opportunity arose. Mr. Horn had stayed on the director, and they actually hired me now to the university. So I'm a paid employee of the university now as a stipend. It's not my full-time job, but it's a great stipend, and I get a U.S. visa to come down here and coach and do what we love at this program. So it's just
Uh,
continuing to flourish, and we're really excited about where we're at.
Terrific. So, tell me more about the rugby program. And you've been involved with it for a long time. How has it evolved and changed, and where are you now?
Well, we've got a phenomenal alumni base, and we had our big night last night with the alumni, and raised over $100,000 for scholarships and functionality of the program. And they help from everything from coaches stipends to travel for the team, gear for the team, and scholarships. And so that kind of the professionalism of what's going on, and anyone that could watch our stream, you see what product we're putting together in terms of uh, the professionalism of what's happening. Is we treat everything exactly like it's a varsity program. We our expectations and our standards are just like a varsity program, and I think that's part of the reason we are in the direction we're going. Is every practice is filmed, every game is filmed, and we do a video every night before practice, and have a presentation about what things we're working on. So it's in a great place, and the boys and the team and the culture is really bought in, and we have a great time on the field and a fantastic time off the field together.
So, how many boys do you have on your team? How deep is the roster?
So we have probably about 54 kids on the team right now, and which is going to grow for next year. So our plan is exciting. We're going to go up to D1A next year and become an independent. And so our top team will play in the D1A competition and travel to, Northern California is our closest competition probably for the D1A. But we also have teams in Canada that we play their D1A. So our top team will play in some D1A games, but then our second and third team will play in the NCRC competition in the D1AA league, and so there's going to be hopefully 3 games a weekend, and so it's the functionality of where we are in the proximity to Canada allows us to have great ties to all these programs, but everybody in our program gets to play and enjoy.
I don't think you can stress that enough. It is so
Yeah.
terrific for that developmental squad to have regular gameplay and get a chance to develop. I don't think that boys mind if they're playing on the first team, second team, or third team as long as they're playing.
100%. I mean, your time in college is finite, and you're only going to get 4 years, maybe five, to come in and play. And kids want to play games, and the kids we're recruiting and the students want to come and play. And we can guarantee them they will get game action. They will earn everything that they get. And you can go out and on a Saturday, you can move your way up to the next team with a good performance. I think that's what's been really good is the healthy competition within our team is we've been able to move. I think this year we had 34 players on our top side play. And so I think that's like an indication of where we are as a program and what we're trying to do in the evolution of this program is to give kids chances. You don't get just stuck on the third team or stuck on the second team. If you're working hard to practice and having great weekends and having a great game on the Saturday, is you kind of continue to move up and down and it's very fluid. And I think the guys have responded well to that. They enjoy the fact that they know that they can get it to they can move themselves up.
That's great. So with respect to your season, things get a little bit murky on the West Coast. Some people play 15s in the spring, some play in the fall, some the sevens are in there somewhere. How does your season work? When does it start? When does it end? What are you doing in the off season and when is the off season?
It's a very good question because it is it's I would say again that is very fluid. Is It's a constant you never really know exactly. We will try. I will say this. This is our main bread and butter is to go at the beginning of the season. Our top sevens guys will play some sevens tournaments. They have some competitions down in California. And while the second team and third team will play some 15s. So like it's kind of concurrently going at the same time.
Is that January?
No, that's in September, end of
That's in
September.
September. Okay.
Yeah, end of September, beginning of October. That's when we come into school. And then we take a break just after American Thanksgiving, kind of like a Christmas break for about 4 to 6 weeks.
Mhm.
And then we come right back at the beginning of January. And then we're at that point we're all 15s. Like even probably mid October, we're all 15s, and we'll have a couple games in the fall for our 15s team. And then in January, we go again and it's all 15s until the end of the season where we go back to sevens in about, mid April, May. So it's kind of bookended a little bit with our sevens and 15s, but we finish around mid May.
I guess the moral is the story is there is a lot of rugby.
Oh, I mean, there's a fella here who does a fantastic job as a journalist. His name's the Goff Rugby Report, and he did a collation of all the games in the last 10 years, and we were ranked in the top three for winning percentage and also for games played. And so we play a ton of rugby here, and that's our big mantra. Like both of Mr. Horn was a teacher, I'm a high school teacher, and we believe in teaching through games and making sure kids are developing through gameplay and working off that. So yeah, we do practice obviously a lot, but it's a lot of it. So we try and have a ton of games for the kids to enjoy.
Super. So let's talk about practice. When do you train? When does the team lift? What does that look like? When do they go to class?
So yeah, so I mean, obviously the class schedule is everyone's a little bit different, but on Mondays the team has a lift, and then we meet at if you have to get physio, you'll meet about 3:30 with the physio, and you kind of structure a time with that, and then we meet as a team at 5 o'clock and do video review of the weekend before and kind of week prep, and then we go outside for an hour and do some skills for an hour on Monday evenings. And then Tuesday, again, there'll be maybe a team lift, depending on the schedule, and then we meet again at 5:30, go through the game preparation of what we're looking at for this week, and kind of start building for the Saturday. and then we're on field Saturday or Tuesday evening, and then Wednesday is a team lift, like a mandatory team lift at 2 o'clock in the varsity weight room, and so that's the team is there, and then Thursday looks like Tuesday, like a 5:30 start in the meeting, game review. Well, more it's more like game preview and how we're trying to play, and then Friday is either a team lift or we travel, and just depends on how where we're playing or who we're playing, and then Saturday's the game day, and then Sunday is off.
And then repeat.
Then repeat. Yep, exactly. Sometimes the kids they'll jump in the bay as a bit of a recovery and do a bit of a team thing on Sunday, but it's not nothing scheduled.
So you have some pretty incredible facilities at Western Washington. I mean, the
That's it. You
campus
bet.
is beautiful. You're right there on the bay, as you said. Behind you, thank you for sharing that,
You
is
bet.
your main field, and you said in the back are the changing rooms and things. Can you explain what we're looking at right now?
Yeah, so I mean, as you know, I mean, you've talked to a lot of coaches and seen a lot of campuses in America. Is at this point right now, this is one of the only places that has a full rugby field on campus, with a grandstand, and then you have the change rooms in the background there. It's a phenomenal facility, and we are very fortunate to have such a beautiful place to play and have our own changing room. And with rugby photos up on the wall, like blown up a few of these beautiful rugby pictures, and it feels like so after we warm up, we go into the shed, put our jerseys on. Yesterday we played Burn It to the Ground. I don't know if you know Nickelback, but I'm a big Nickelback guy. And so, yeah, we played Nickelback coming out, Burn It to the Ground. That's our entry song. But yesterday we actually had a piper. So he piped the guys to the entrance, and then from the entrance, then Burn It to the Ground started. And then he finished up with, he did the American anthem on the bagpipes, which was cool.
Oh, amazing. That's great. And
Yeah.
behind you, behind the end of the pitch, is that the water? It's a bit cloudy, so
No,
it's hard to
so the
see.
water is actually the water from where we are right now. Oh, I'm sorry, sideways. So the water is actually just over this hill here.
Oh, okay. All
So
right.
yeah,
That was
so
a
the
little bit
field's right there, and
disorienting.
then the water's just right up over there.
And there's a bit of a team tradition to go into the water on Sunday and have a bit of a fresh swim.
That's it. Yeah, a little bright in the day. But it's so if you like if for our dining hall looks over the bay. So when kids have it's like five-star dining. Like you're in a very yeah, it's impressive for the views, and I mean you can actually even see the mountains up in Canada, like with all the snow, and it's pretty cool.
Well, one of my questions is why do you think someone should choose Western Washington over other universities? And I think you've just answered that. But why do you think they should choose Western Washington rugby over other teams?
Whew. Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, it's hard to get a sense of like the coaching staff and the passion and pride that we have in this program and the love we have for the boys. And sometimes that's hard to come through. And I feel like when kids come and visit, I think they get a great sense of who we are as people and what we're trying to do in this program. And I think that lends itself to why we're having so much success is like we're all together, and I feel like the kids really have bought into like our personalities and what we're trying to deliver as a program. And that goes a long way in terms of they know that we've got their back, and we're always backing the boys for whatever they do. And I think that's it. You know, we're not like paid professionals. I mean, we very professional, but we're not like this isn't our full-time job. We do this out of pride and passion and love. And I think that goes into these guys, and it's sees you, the kids see it and feel it. Is the amount of work we put in is it's like more than a full-time
Yeah, you
job.
wouldn't want to know your
And
hourly rate.
Oh, well, I mean, like my wife is like, I've got a beautiful wife and two daughters, but she is a saint angel for the amount of work that goes into behind the scenes to pull this off. But it's all worth it. I love it so much, and the coaches love it, and the kids love it. So it's a fun place to be when everybody's enjoying what they're doing and doing it because they love it.
Do you have international players on the team?
Yep. Yeah. Right now we've got a kid from South Africa. We have a player from Japan, and we have a player from Canada, and there's a kid from Ireland that's coming to us next year. So yeah, we've got kids from around, and I'm hoping to get a couple more from the UK. But who knows?
Great. So,
Yeah,
one of the things that, I mean, everybody knows going to university is expensive. And so people always look for any opportunity to reduce that cost, and scholarships and financial aid are one of those ways. Can you tell me a little bit about Western Washington's financial aid or scholarships, both academic and rugby, that are available?
sure. Yeah, I mean, it's our school is an academic institution, obviously, as they all are. But ours is you have to have a certain grade point average to be looked at for merit money, and so I believe this year it was about a 3.5 weighted. Um, and so yeah, 3.5 GPA is kind of where the standard is to get some merit money. And so the international students, that's a big one. Is we try and target kids that have really strong grades, because it's hard unless they're flush with cash. I mean, it's expensive to go to school, and I think a lot of people are looking to find a way to get some extra help and some extra money. We are currently working with some people to help get a bit of like a housing situation. I think I may have talked to you about that before, but just really trying to break down that cost of, so living off campus, but you get your room covered, which is probably about a $10,000 to $12,000 savings for parents. That's one avenue we've been looking to break down that barrier. But then we also have rugby scholarships that kids can apply to within our with like it's on our website, as you mentioned. Like our website is very good for our rugby, and the scholarships are all there that kids can apply to and get. But it is, a lot of our scholarships at our school are merit based, and so you have to have a high GPA to get those.
Great, that's really helpful. And of course, all of that would be either on the website for the rugby team or on the website for the university.
For
Um,
sure. Yeah.
when you are talking to recruits, what do you look for in a top recruit? And on the other hand, what's a red flag for you?
Um, I mean, a big piece for us is that I would say we generally have to like punch above our weight class. Is we're not like we're not like one of those schools that everybody knows about. Like a UCLA or a Cal or a like a Harvard. We're just not a name university that outside of the Pacific Northwest. I mean, everybody here knows us as a strong rugby program, and we've put ourselves on the map in a lot of ways in the rugby community. But on the whole, it's not a very well-known university, and so that's one piece where I think when we talk to a recruit, we want to find a kid that wants to get into the battle with us and wants to help grow this program and flourish. They're like, yeah, these guys are fantastic to be around, and they love what they're doing, and they train, like we train super hard, and the kids are really committed to it. That they want to be a part of that, and so that's something we look for, where kids are up for that. And red flag, I just struggle with kids that don't respond. And like it's hard. Like communication is so easy now, but it's also quite difficult. As much as they have their phones, it's like sometimes they'll just go ghost for 6 weeks. It's like, well, oh, sorry, I didn't know you were still interested. It's I just the communication piece is big for me. I'm a big communicator. I love to chat, and so communication is a huge one for me. I wouldn't say it's a red flag though, but I just prefer when it's just easier, and just to know, like, do you want to come or not? Like, just either way, like, just let us know. So those pieces are like what I find the most easy and comforting when you have people that just want to communicate and are good people. That's like, I just love I mean, there's so many great character kids in rugby, and great character people in rugby, that for the most part, I haven't come across too many kids where I'm like, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned communication. I hear it from coaches all the time. And had a coach tell me one time, if a kid comes to me and has a great introduction call, and then I don't hear from them for a year until they come back and say, "Hey, can I be on your team? Can I have a scholarship?" It's like, I don't want that kid on my team because they don't
Right.
want me. And they haven't
Right.
invested in building a relationship. So,
Right.
now you mentioned going up to D1A next year,
Yeah.
and that's a big step in the evolution of a program. Do you have goals laid out for what you want to accomplish in that first year in D1A?
Yeah, I mean, like we've had a kind of a goal as a program. We're probably a year ahead of where we thought we would be, and like our goal was to do it in 3 years. We've kind of done it in a year and a half to where we want to be. But I would say we want to just continue to stay competitive and stay, you know, relevant to playing top games and getting quality opposition. And the CRAA has done a great job of kind of building infrastructure around playing and getting different people into playoff positions, and I think that those will set up well for us. I mean, and I think that's kind of where we'd like to be, is like get our first year, try and get our spot in a playoff position and get ranked, and then see where it goes from there. I mean, we're quite a young team right now, and a lot of guys coming back, so I have no reason to think that we won't be able to do it. It's just going to take a lot of work and fighting up. So it'll be good though.
Exciting times.
You
Um,
bet. Yeah.
and I mentioned in the intro that you also have a women's rugby program at Western Washington. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, awesome. They are great people. So the head coach, or one of the, sorry, not maybe not the head coach, but one of the coaches is a player that played with us in our program, Charlie Ronan. Fantastic guy. Him and his partner, I'll say, I don't know if it's his wife or anyway, they've been together for a while. They run the team, and but the women's program, I mean, they practice on Monday nights. We practice. We're on half and they're on half when we're just doing skills, and so we see them, and they've got a huge contingent of people, like, and they're winning their league, and they're very successful. And so yeah, they're right on it. They don't have the same kind of alumni yet. They're working on that. They're building, but that alumni support, maybe like our alumni helps them out now and again, and but yeah, they're phenomenal, and a lot of those girls do it just again for the love and the passion of the game, and they have a ton of success. But it's perfect because they're on this field as well, and they've got a great facility to build with.
I don't know if alumni is a term that is used really commonly in lots of other places. In England, they'd be referred to as the old boys or the old girls.
Oh, sure,
And
sure.
having a strong and having a program that has history enables you to have an alumni association that can then feed into the program and help support the program financially. So I think that it's great that you have such an active alumni because it's a thing that a lot of programs struggle with when they don't have that kind of history. They don't have those resources to call upon. And you mentioned that you just had your big fundraising night with your alumni and how instrumental they are to scholarships and facilities and kit and all those sorts of things. I think that's wonderful.
For sure. I mean, I think if like on the whole, this is speaking on kind of just like on a rugby talk, but I like USA Rugby, like this is the model that you need to have the infrastructure of your alumni to support, is with the way the monies are working now at universities, like things are getting tighter, and you're going to need financial support and have the ability to lean on people, not just the university, and because rugby is fragile, like sport in America is fragile. And I mean, obviously the big dominant ones are fine, but the periphery type sports, it needs the backing of the alumni.
Absolutely. So beyond rugby, what do you think are the best things about Western Washington?
Well, I mean, you just look around. I mean, if you love the outdoors and you enjoy, living a good, healthy, fun life, like it is a great place to be. The people here, the quality of life is off the charts, and there's mountains and biking and hiking and fishing and water sports. I mean, it's a pretty incredible place, and the people here. I mean, I think it's one of the most desirable places currently in the U.S. to move to, just because people are starting to find it, and it's just booming. People. It's got a great casual life to it, like the sense of people. It's great humans, and yeah, it's a pretty special place.
And what is Bellingham like? Is it a big city?
About 80,000 people.
Okay.
And yeah, it's about 80,000, so it's got all the functionality of a big city. And but it's beautiful. It's like a beautiful historic town. It used to be like where they would, like, for the big shipping routes, and then the start of the railway. And so it's like kind of like a gateway to the west a little bit. I mean, obviously Seattle took that over, but it was the pipeline is here. Like BP, British Petroleum, has a refinery here. So I mean, and that's the other piece for kids that are thinking about it from the UK. They might not understand the real proximity to things, but you know, if you're looking for an internship, I mean, Boeing is based out of Seattle, Amazon is out of Seattle, Starbucks is out of Seattle, T-Mobile is out of this area, Microsoft. You know, you go through all the industry that is in Seattle. It's actually a pretty impressive town when you think about how many big companies are here. If you're looking to get yourself involved in an internship, there's a ton of companies here, and that's another big selling feature for kids that maybe want to stay in the US after they graduate, or get a good job at one of those tech firms. Or it's there's a lot of opportunity.
Well, thank you. That's a really good point to make. And a lot of international students like to take advantage of the occupational practical training for a year or 3 years, depending on their degree. And being near a city that offers those kind of opportunities can be really helpful.
For
So
sure.
we have talked a lot about everything from alumni to training to the Bay and everything else. Thank you so much for your time today. And I'm wishing you all the best of luck in the upcoming playoff run and in your big step up to D1A in the new year. So I hope that we can get in touch again next year and hear all about that transition and wish you all the best.
Well, appreciate your time. I love what you do. I just anyone that's promoting rugby like this, I yeah, I really appreciate what you do.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Bye bye.